Hello, and welcome to another daily run. It looks like we're starting at the tall grass today, and honestly, the team is not that bad for it because we have a Sneasler, which is never a bad thing to start with because it's really strong. It starts with Dark Claw. We have a Vigoroth, which is fine, and we'll have to deal with True when it evolves, but it's okay. Other than that, I just catch this Ninkara just because it will eventually evolve into Shedinja. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it, but it's a great immunity to have on your team because of Wonder Guard, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep making our way through the tall grass. We also have a beat of, which is good, because it's tall grass, so it means a lot of bug types, especially Ninjasks, apparently, and Ninkaras, and Kecleon, which is great because it reminds me of Devon Scope and Hoenn. Anyway, Bidove is evolving into Tranquil, which is never a bad thing, especially because it's very, very early on in the run, and it's a pretty decent mon with Air Cutter, which hits both mons, so we kind of have double battles covered for that. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep making our way through the waves as our Ninkata evolves into Ninjask, which I don't intend on keeping it, for not long at all. The first opportunity I have, I'm gonna replace it with another better bug type. And we really did this for Shedinja, so there she is on our team already. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna keep it because it's a gamble, If I find something better, like a ghost type or something, even a better bug type, it's probably worth more than Shedinja because it's a gamble, You may be immune to everything in the final floor or die immediately in one hit, so I don't really like making those kind of gambles on daily run because you never know. Sometimes you have to get really gimmicky to be able to win the final boss depending on the team we have. So here's our first battle of the run. Nothing much, a Growlithe. I wish I could have that on my team because honestly I really love Arcanine. But down it goes, and also I did not mention it, but this Tranquil has Super Luck and Air Cutter is a high crit move, so it's a pretty great combo to have, Just switch into Slinger here to die to Tauros, and just go ahead and keep chipping away at its HP. Hopefully, it won't take a lot of my guys out. And fortunately, Vigoroth didn't go down, but Sneasler did, so yeah, we're not getting absorbed on neither of those Pokemon because it's a pretty bad move. So I'm just gonna go ahead, grab some balls. Here's another bug. I really like Aeriados is one of my favorite mons. I don't really know why. I think it's because of Johto. It's my starting region as a child. I've been playing since I was 6 years old or something. And Pokemon Silver was my first game, so I really have a fun place for it in my heart. It's not a Growlithe, but we have a Vulpix right here, and I'm gonna try to catch it to add some type variety to our team because honestly, we don't have that much variety going on right now, especially because two of our mons I probably won't even keep it. So here's a Parasect, is the XP for Tranquil, and yeah, Tranquil pretty much carried it on its own. The whole first 10 floors or so, I didn't only use it, but it came in handy a lot with air cutting. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep air cutting everything with Super Luck. And honestly, Tranquil, you deserve some props, buddy, because you've been confused for 87 turns, and you haven't hit yourself once. So let's just keep hoping that doesn't happen. The floor 10 boss is Low Kicks, which is an amazing mon. I really like it. I always try to add it to my team because it's really fast mon. It hits really hard. Its move pool is great. It has a lot of priority in First Impression and Sucker Punch, which are both stab. So, and also it's a dark type, so immunity to Psychic is always great. I immediately try to catch it and replace something in the team for it, and it's gonna probably be Ninjask if I'm not mistaken, because it it only makes sense. I already have a flying type, and it's a pretty better bug type than Ninjask is. So anyway, on to floor 11 we go. Here's a Knuckle Stack. I try to catch it because I don't have a rock type, and Salt Cure is always a good thing to have at the end of the run. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it for the whole run. And yeah, there goes Shedinja. I told you it wasn't gonna last long. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it for the whole run. But for now, it's better than Shedinja, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep going through the floors. I grabbed some balls because this isn't really the team I want to go to the final boss with. It's getting closer and better, but still not quite there yet. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep chipping away. Hariyama, it's a really good mon, but since we started with Sneasler, I'm not gonna catch it. And our Tranquil evolves really fast actually into Unpheasant, mostly because we pretty much only used it in the first 10 floors. So great, a fully evolved mon with stab, always great. It's pretty fast too. So I would like to catch that Noibat, but honestly, it's a pretty bad mon until it evolves, and I don't want to add that fragility to my team right now. Also, I'm having a really tough time with like rock types and stuff because my Sneasler hasn't learned any fighting type moves yet, and especially ground and rock because they both resist poison, so I pretty much cannot do any damage. So I just instead try to start chucking some balls, and to catch the mons I can't really hurt a lot. I'm not gonna add them to the team, but it's just faster, you know. And Sneasler finally learns Brick Break. I grab a Mega Bracelet, just, I don't know, when I see a Mega Bracelet, I just grab it. It's like instinct. I don't even know if I have anything that can Mega Evolve on my team right now. I don't think I do, but oh well. As expected, a lot of Gravelers around here, but at least I have Brick Break now, so, well, it didn't really ended up mattering because it just killed itself and killed me in the process, but yeah, bye Sneasler, glad you learned a fighting type move for nothing, but I don't really know why I switched into low kicks because it can do a lot of damage and I don't really have a good counter to any of those types, so I'm just gonna go ahead and keep on keeping on until I can do something better about it. It wants to learn Throat Chop, which is great because it didn't have a dark move yet, and Vulpix wants to learn Flamethrower, so it already learned all the moves I wanted it to learn. So I'm ready for that Firestone if it ever comes up. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep Vulpix all the way. I think I end up replacing it with something later, but not sure right now. Here's a Diggersby. Always like seeing a ground type. I didn't really want to catch it because I already have a normal type. My bug type is not resistant to fighting type moves, and I already have a normal type in Vigoroth and Unpheasant. Anyway, not a good call. I do end up seeing it right here, a Ursaring. I love Ursaluna so much, like it's one of my favorite mounts since it was announced. So I end up trying to weaken it and catch it. I'm probably going to replace it over Unpheasant if I'm not mistaken because of the normal typing and because flying isn't really a necessity for final bosses usually. Like you can pretty much get around the typings they are weak to without flying, so there's that. I end up burning it, but based on the damage and considering Knuckle Stack has a pretty high defense, I think it has Guts, and it does. So that's a plus for us, you know, Guts plus. I end up replacing, is it Vulpix? I don't know if it's Vulpix right now or Unpheasant. I think it's Vulpix, but yeah, I end up taking a little bit of time to think about it because I really didn't want it to get rid of it because it just learned Flamethrower, but oh well, bye Vulpix. Here's another Hariyama. My team is looking pretty beaten up right now, so I just chuck a ball and thank God it stays. I'm not gonna add it to the team as I said. I just end up catching a lot of these mons just for speed purposes and, you know, not lose the run immediately and have to start everything over again. Here's another Knuckle Stack. They're not as annoying now that I have Brick Break, but still, a lot of those mons have Sturdy, and Sneasler isn't really a bulky mon. It's fine, but, you know, it's also weak to ground type moves, so yeah, I revive my low kicks. I don't really know how I'm gonna get through this because everything is low HP, but I end up managing. I switch into Unpheasant because Sneasler is weak to ground, so I figure I switch. Flying type move, can't really do anything to Purple Best, not worth switching. I do a little bit of chip damage, cleared it once, and down goes Unpheasant. I immediately go into Sneasler to Brick Break, figure it's gonna switch, but at least I KO'd Pupitar. And oh, our Vigoroth is evolving, which is great because it gets like a huge power boost, like attack and speed, also bulkiness, but now I have to deal with Truant, so let's hope that doesn't bite us in the ass later. And she has a Golem, which is not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Probobest because I could probably KO it in one hit with Sneasler. But down it goes to Bulldoze, which is fine. It did its job. Now I go into low kicks. I lunge, figuring it's gonna switch, but at least I can like get its attack down a little bit. I noticed it has a citrus berry right here. Thankfully I survive the rock blast and I go for bug bite, trying to steal its HP recovery, which works. Thankfully it didn't stole the lumberry. But down go low kicks. And Slacking, it's your turn, buddy. Thankfully Probo Pass is half rock, so Metal Claw, it's at least neutral. I don't have to hit it with the double resisted slash. So that's good. It ends up mostly killing my Slacking because of Truant. I ended up surviving and managing to take it out, but Slacking was pretty much down right now. So I just stayed in, loafing around, letting it kill me so I can get a clean switch into something else. I go into Vulpix, not really know why. Don't really know why. I tried to Will-O-Wisp, but it kills itself, and thankfully I have another mount, so we won against Roxanne. I think we would have been fine either way because Ursaring has high horsepower, but you never know. And it looks like we're going to the lake. We see a Gyarados. Whenever we see a Gyarados, we catch a Gyarados. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna replace some Phazant here for Gyarados because I don't have a water type, and you know, it technically is a Flymon, and I already have double normal types. So, bye-bye on Phazant. Ursaring learns Rest, which I really like. Snore, I don't care about as much. At all, actually. I'm grabbing X Accuracy just because, you know, always good to have. Another Gyarados, which is, you know, not exactly what we'd like to see, but I know it doesn't really have like Hurricane or anything flying that can hurt me too bad. I just go into Sneasler and Dark Claw it into Oblivion. Dark Claw is like one of the greatest moves ever made because it can like put it to sleep, it can paralyze or poison the mon, and it has a pretty high base power. It's like 80. It's like a much better poison jab. I end up taking the Super Potion to heal my newly caught Gyarados, and here's the Swanna. Don't really care. Just need to kill it without losing that much HP, so I switch into Ursaring, slash it a couple times. Should be enough. It Feather Danced me, which sucks, because now I'm gonna have to switch. But there's a trainer battle coming up anyway, which resets all status changes, so it's gonna be fine. I just stay in, because I'm not really scared of Seeking at all, so can't really do much to me, so I just slash it a couple times. 3 times, I don't know. And yeah, we're just gonna go keep on keeping on. Here's the trainer for the floor, you know, for the 10 floors, 20 to 30. Starts off with the Toxicroak, which is like basically a worse version of Sneasler, but it is bulkier and my Sneasler can't handle it actually, so I start to panic a little bit. I did not switch out because I was hoping for a sleep or something on the Dark Claw. It didn't happen. Sneasler goes down. Switching to Ursaring, knowing it could have a fighting type, but thankfully it doesn't, or at least it didn't go for it, and it dies. And Gyarados is learning Hurricane, better than Scary Face anyway, at least it's like Stab. And we see a Passimian here. Let's go into our newly Hurricaneing Gyarados. Not to Hurricane, but you know, it resists anyway, so down goes Passimian. And there goes Battlegirl Janie. Alright, there's another Swanna here. I like its sprite because it's like it looks like it's like putting its hands like on its hips and going like, "Who do you think you are? I am Swanna. I'm beautiful, gorgeous, and dead." No. Okay, moving on. Low Kicks learns First Impression, which is great, one of its best moves. And I lied. Ursaring gets high horsepower right here. I thought it had on the last boss battle, but well, thank God we didn't need to find that out because, you know, things could have gone bad. I just Hurricane right here, not really knowing why. I think a Aqua Tail on the range from Gyarados, even though it's resisted, I think it deals more damage, but at least I got the confusion. So I go for the Aqua Tail just because it has a least chance of missing from all my attacking moves, so which is weird because it's like 90% accuracy or something. A Secret Ninja, I would have caught it, but I already have a Dark type and a Water type, and it doesn't have Protein, so I just First Impression it, which is great because I can get rid of a lot of mounts very easily with Low Kicks with First Impression and, you know, any other move actually, because it's really fast. I think it has Sucker Punch, yeah, it does, so it's pretty good. Here goes a Samurott. I don't really want to catch it because it doesn't have the healing ability, and you know, I already have my water types. I don't really care about anything else, and I'm just gonna go ahead and KO everything to get as much experience as I can. I think my team is pretty set for the time being for the final boss. Not sure if I'm gonna go ahead and make any changes. I think I end up switching up one mon later on. I don't know. We're gonna have to see that. I think it's maybe on the next 10 floors or so. I don't know, we'll see. And here's Crasher Wake. As usual, it looks like this dude works here. Like, yeah, it's 9 to 5, so we're gonna see Crasher Wake doing his thing, getting annoying, and switching into Sneasler just to finish off this thing. I figured it's gonna switch because it has the Gyarados. I just Dire Claw a bunch of times. Got to sleep, thankfully, and I just go ahead and try to take it out as much as possible, as fast as possible, because I don't know if it's gonna wake up. It ends up switching. The thing about AI in this game is like when they have a mon with low HP, they usually end up switching, even though the other mon might be weakness to the attacks or the typing you're using. So when the mon is at low HP, I never recommend switching out or going for non-attacking moves unless it's like recover or something. You can also use this opportunity to like set up, like I could have like Dragon Dance or something. You know, you can make your way around it, but it's good because you can sometimes just go ahead and KO them on pretty much for free when they switch out. So Flaking is gonna die. Oh my god, why am I using this thing? I go into Ursaring, it has high horsepower. Now it has high horsepower and it does KO Barbaracle, so that's a great thing. And Vulpix, Fire Blast, no thank you. And there goes Crasher Wake, finally. See you tomorrow, buddy. And now we're at the construction site. Don't really need any fighting types, already have Steezler. I'm good for a ground type too, if I manage to find the peak block to evolve my Ursaring, which I'm pretty sure I'm gonna soon start to spam like rerolls to try to get that. And here's the one I was talking about. I always like to have Magneton and Magnezone on the team because they're bulky, they can paralyze stuff, they have sturdy, can't be KO'd, so you can, depending on the amount, you can pretty much just get a free paralysis on a boss. It's always great, and has really high special attack as well. Right here I'm starting to decide. I don't really want to get rid of anyone else. I get rid of Vulpix because I didn't find a Firestone yet, and I'm not feeling a Fire type would be better than an Electric and Steel type, which are both typings I do not have on my team yet, and they do give me an immunity, so that's always good. Just start taking out some mons, and we're gonna go for the citrus here since we're loading a little bit. I would go for the Excadrill. You can see I hesitated a little bit, but I already have my Ursaring pretty set up, and I just caught another Steel type, so just go ahead and KO it. If you haven't got another Steel type or ground type, I highly suggest you going for Excadrill because it's an amazing mon. It's movable, it's great. It has like double immunities to electric and poison. It hits hard. It's amazing. I would like that Lucario actually on my team, but we'll just go ahead and KO it. I do end up getting rid of Bug Bite, I think, for X Kick, even though it's always good to have Bug Bite or Pluck for the final boss because it did save me a couple of times on a couple of runs in the past. So here's the Stoutland. Here was a Stoutland, it isn't anymore. Bye-bye. And there goes Officer Keith. Now we finally got a full restore, which is amazing. I do end up going for Sneasler because I remember Ursaring has guts, so it's not the worst thing in the world. I would like to get rid of the paralysis for the boss, of course. But since it's a Gutsmon, I don't worry about it too much. I just take out the Machamp, don't really want it. Magneton wants to learn Light Screen, which is better than Screech for me anyway. Another great thing about it, it's like it gets Light Screen as a level up move, so you can also take advantage of Sturdy to set up a Light Screen if you like can't paralyze the boss, or if it has already been paralyzed or has another status move. Condition, not move. I just go ahead and take down everything with Gyarados because Gyarados is a monster. If you really set up like a couple Dragon Dances, you can pretty much sweep through everything that doesn't have Water Absorb or doesn't double resist it, or if it's not like on Sunshine. Anyway, we get another full restore, but Ursaring is at full HP, so I end up using it on Gyarados. And here's Chuck, the other bulky dude that I love, that always makes his appearance with Pressure Rate. Pretty sure there are a couple, and I ship them fully. So I just take the opportunity of Passimian being locked into the Thrash and intimidated to get as much Dragon Dances as I can. I end up getting up to like +4, I think. So I pretty much just sweep everything. Here's a Poliwrath. Didn't sweep that, but it missed its Dynamic Punch, so I just finish it off. The bad thing right here is that I think that was my last Aqua Tail, so now I'm gonna have to Hurricane a Crabominable, which is gonna make me faint, which is fine. You know, Gyarados took like 3 of the 4 Mons on its own, and I have a full team alive, so it's pretty chill. I just switch into low kicks and go for the X kick to finish it off, and there was Chuck. Bye-bye, Chuck. See you tomorrow, probably. In Crusher's Wake, bad, maybe send me an invitation, I don't know, I could drop by. Anyway, here's the power plant, and it looks it's a pretty interesting mon. I don't end up catching it because I think my team is pretty set right now with Magneton. Right now, I just need to get the Beat Block to evolve my Ursaring into Ursaluna, and find the Thunderstone as well would be nice for Magneton. It's not the end of the world if I can't get the Thunderstone. I have gone with Magneton a couple of times into the final boss, and you know, it was fine. Obviously not as good as it would have been if it was a Magneton, but you can still make do with it. You can do pretty much the same stuff. Maybe don't survive like 2 hits depending on the mon, but it's fine. My priority right here is to evolve Ursaring anyway because of the ground typing. I really need the ground typing. Don't like going into the final boss without ground. The times I did that, I did not had a great time, so yeah, I rerolled a bunch, didn't get anything, ended up going for the Ability Charm, even though I know I'm not gonna catch anything, and probably won't have anything different appear, like with abilities that I don't have. I'm taking a look at the little Pokeball under the Pokemon's name just to check out, you know. Sometimes I take a look to see if something I have not caught yet, but anyway. Here's the last trainer of the run. She has a Plusle, which dies immediately, and it's pretty good for me. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep killing everything, switching to Ursaring for the high horsepower. Thankfully, I do not get paralyzed here. I think, not even with static, or does it get me with static? It does not get me with static this time. I switch around, and thankfully, I get a Beat Block. And now Ursaring, it's at least an Ursaluna. I have ground type, ground stab, electric immunity, and a pretty amazing mon. So, oh god, look at this thing, it's so thick, I love it. Here's a Raichu, it light screens, I high horsepower, it dies, but not before leaving me paralyzed to the, you know, for the final boss, which is terrible because I don't have any money, I can't re-roll anymore, so if I do not get a good roll right here, I'm done. I mean, I'm not done, but it's going into the battle paralyzed, so. Well, I did not get the full heal, but I got the Thunderstone, so let's go Magnezone. And here's the final boss, and it's Zekrom this time. Thankfully, I managed to evolve my Ursaluna, but I'm not confident on those paralysis coming through, so I just switched into Sneasler. I don't really know why. I know it's fast, I just close combat. I know if I'm gonna die, I die immediately to Thunder. So I figure, yeah, maybe I just need to use Ursaluna after all. But since it's paralyzed, I go into Magnezone and set up a light screen before going into Ursaluna because I don't know if it has like Dragon Pulse or something. Thankfully, it went for the Thunderbolt. I just switch in. I go for the rest, it fails because I forgot that the electric terrain was up, which, whoopsie, my bad. But it managed to survive and get off a higher horsepower, which should be enough to finish it off the rest of my team, thankfully, or maybe not because it had 37 million citrus berries. Going to Magnezone to light screen again because my team cannot take this damage at all. I go into low kicks, it only survived because of the light screen. I get a little bit of damage off, it dies. I go into slacking for the same reason, to enjoy the benefits of light screen. I slash a couple times. Thankfully I had a citrus berry, I managed to survive and finish Zekrom off. So yeah, bring ground types and you should be fine. that's it for today's run, and see you tomorrow. And let me know what you guys think of the voiceover, if you rather have me voice over the videos or if you rather have silent videos. So see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.